Hey, it's the 2nd of August, 2019. I'm working on another video, but I had to just show you this stuff because it's getting, I did videos on this thing when it first was being talked about. Like a couple years ago, I was doing videos on this thing. This is supposedly a probe, okay? This is a man-made, earthen materials, none of which are able to withstand multiple 1,000-degree environments. And they're telling us that they have this probe, okay, literally going within the corona of the sun. Now, the sun corona, what they tell us is the exterior of the sun that is liquid plasma nuclear energy, just unbelievable amounts of energy spewing out of this thing in this corona, right? And they tell us that this little probe made by man's hands is floating around in that. And the reason that it doesn't melt, and these antennas that stick out all on the sides and everything, and the reason none of that melts is because they put an igloo cooler on the bottom. They put a little pad on the bottom of it, and they're so good at what they do. This little probe stays perfectly positioned at all times so that that little pad shields it from all of this electroplasma, unbelievable environment. No way that anything could survive in this environment, and yet there's this little probe. They tell us the sun gobbles up comets and whatnot, but this little probe is able to just float around this thing at will. And people believe this. This is the level of insanity that we've reached as a species. It is off the charts and a gigantic hoax and lie. Not real. And I just had to show you this. And I'm going to link this article because you got to read it. And they go about it like it's a big joke themselves. And the reason they go about it like a big joke is because it is. And they're laughing at you if you believe this garbage. As this probe swings past the sun a couple of times. We're just going to swing past the sun. And then it feeds them back all kinds of science. Yes, we've got 25 gigs of science straight off the little solar spacecraft. Think about this. Insane, total lies, and that's just the way it is. You can believe it if you want, but this is pathetic. But the other thing I want to show you, this is even more interesting though. Pentagon is testing mass surveillance balloons. Well, they're not testing them, they're using them. And they have been using them. And they're perfecting them. And they're making them so that these balloons, this apparatus, can literally track every single car you see here simultaneously 24/7. Like SkyNet sort of thing. Like this omnipotent presence all over the face of the earth. Combine that with the AI, the D-Wave, and all the demons that they're chatting with these days, and there is your beast system right there, tracking every single thing you do. And that's just the way it is. And I will link these two articles because you simply need to see this stuff. It is off the charts, and it's real. And it's here. This isn't something they're testing, folks. This is here. And it's going to be implemented. And you will, in fact, play by the rules, or you'll be visited and fined, penalized for everything you do. That's just the way it's going to be. Especially with climate change. They'll be able to know if you threw the wrong thing in the trash. Okay? And they will not allow it because they'll have the means to enforce it. When they control your money digitally, they control your every movement digitally, every word you speak and type. You understand what I'm saying? This is the beast system. And the money is not far behind. This money system is not long for this world. I'm telling you folks, it's here. If you don't know Jesus Christ, you better get to asking him to come into your life now. I'm just telling you because you ain't going to get through any of this on your own. If they're feeding you lies of this magnitude And if you're believing that they have a probe in the sun's corona, and it's just floating around feeding them all kinds of science every day, then you need help. I'm sorry. I will pray for you, quite literally, because it's here, folks. You've gone off the deep end, and it ain't far till it hits the bottom of the cliff. So, get with Jesus. Peace and grace to you. Many fish.
Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armour of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armour of God,